Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and it's time for a birthday read. So, my birthday is in August, and my pile of possibilities is silly. I admit that up front, but at least 2, 4, 6 of the books are not anticipated, expected to, or any way, shape, or form to be finished in August. I expect them all to be several months in the doing, which is a good thing for me going in. Probably make that 8 books. But Fireball, nobody needs to listen to you talk. So I have a wide variety. I picked a bunch of books off of my shelf that were previous birthday gifts from my friends that I haven't gotten to yet. And I very much want to read. I have classics, a nonfiction, or two. Just it is a wide variety. So let's dive in. Okay, this one has been sitting on my shelf for a while, and that is Circe by Madeline Miller. Description is obvious from the title. I have read one other Madeline Miller book that was Song of Achilles, and I despised it. So I'm going into this with an open mind, but leery. The reason I want to read this in August, even though it was not a gift, is because I just finished Homer, and Circe is, in the Odyssey, and I have been curious about this one for a while. Better time doesn't exist than right now, so we're going to read that one now. Okay, so I have 2 choices for the Prairie Trail Readathon. One I mentioned in Big Book Summer, that is Under the Wide and Starry Sky by Nancy Horan. This was a Goodreads win. I know nothing about this author. I know nothing about this book other than it qualifies for Big Book Summer at over 760 pages, and it sounds incredibly interesting. Did you know that there was an historical fiction book about Robert Louis Stevenson, the author? Neither did I. This is it. I'm fascinated. Part of it takes place in San Francisco, so it fits for the Prairie Trail Readathon. And I just need to know. I need to know why Stevenson travels to San Francisco. It's in the, right at the end of the era the readathon covers for the Prairie Trail. And so there you go. And the other one is Death of an Archbishop by Willa Cather. This one is set in New Mexico. It is not written by a Catholic, even though it is directly related to the Catholic Church. I am very interested, and I have yet to obtain a good nonfiction companion for this classic, but I'm in the process of tracking the one down that directly relates to it. Well, not directly. Is a good companion nonfiction to the classic, which you will notice is a trend moving forward. So this one isn't very long, and I am very fascinated. It's set 1848, so right, smack in the middle of the Prairie Trail Readathon time frame, and I'm incredibly looking forward to this. And I appreciate the fact that, chapters have titles. Next one is a pure me read. chose it because I wanted to read it. Science fiction. That is The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. It's the first book of the duology, and Jesuits in Space. I don't need to say anything more than Jesuits in Space. So, there you go. Okay, now for the books my friends have gifted me read. And unintentionally, this entire stack directly in front of me is all from the same person. I just realized that. But so we're going to go in the order in which she gave them to me. First up would be The Medicine Woman of Galveston by Amanda Skekindor. I haven't read anything by her, but this takes place in Galveston, obviously. And it takes place during the 1900 hurricane in Galveston. So I am very interested. And I've heard mixed things, but I have never read an Amanda Skekindor book. So I will let you know. And the next one is not the only book by this author on this list. That is The Locksmith's Daughter by Karen Brooks. This is Victorian. Nope, take that back. This is Elizabethan historical fiction, and I'll read you the back. Mallory Bright is the only daughter of London's most ingenious locksmith and has apprenticed with her father since childhood. After scandal destroys her reputation, Mallory has returned to her father's home and lives almost as a recluse, ignoring the whispers of their neighbors. But Sir Francis Walsingham, Queen Elizabeth's spymaster and frequent client of Mallory's father, sees potential in Mallory and draws her into his world of danger and deception. The locksmith's daughter is not only good at cracking locks, he discovers, she also has a talent for codes, spycraft, and intrigue. With Mallory at his service, no scheme in England or abroad is safe from discovery. But Mallory's loyalty wavers as she witnesses the brutal and bloody public execution of 3 Jesuit priests and realizes the human cost of her espionage. And later, when she discovers the identity of a Catholic spy and a conspiracy that threatens the kingdom, she is forced to choose between her country and her heart. Once Sir Francis's greatest asset, Mallory is fast becoming his worst threat, and there is only one way the Queen's spymaster deals with his enemies. Yeah, and it qualifies for Big Book Summer. It is over 500 pages. This one has been on this list before this year. It too qualifies for Big Book. That is Sophie's World by Yosten Gardner. I started this once a long time ago on a business trip. It got lost on the business trip before I could finish it, and now I own my own copy and I can go back and read it from the beginning, and I am very much looking forward to this. It is a mystery, a philosophy, and a fantasy novel all rolled into one with a 14-year-old protagonist. I don't need to know anything else. Next up, this was on my July Pop, which I forgot to publish, is The Southern Side of Paradise by Christy Woodson Harvey. This is the 3rd book in the Peachtree Bluff series. And the only reason I have not picked this up, I'm filming this on the 24th of July, is because July has been such a hit or miss month. This just needs to wait pleasantly for August. It just needs to wait for August. I need this to be a good read. I don't need to, be struggling to read this. So I know it'll be fabulous when I get to it. Okay. And here comes the change for my reading. I Everything I'm going to talk about now is a extended read. I'm not anticipating these to be finished in August or even September for the most part, to be honest. And I'm okay with that. So, first up would be The Source by James Michener. This is historical fiction novellas, just like Texas, but this deals with the Holy Land. And I am not racing to finish this. This one is also over 1,000 pages. So this one is 1,080 pages. So if it takes me a couple months, if it takes me 6 months, I'm good with that. But the best way to tackle a book of that length is just to start it. So I am starting it. And I'm excited about it too. So that isn't going to be problematic in any respect. And then that leads me to, excuse me, husband just yawned downstairs. Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. I have started this. I need to restart it. And again, it won't be finished this month unless I just, completely end up diving into Russian lit, which reading history would tell me that's not going to happen, but it did happen with War and Peace. So you never know. And it helps that I'm starting it when it is blazing hot and humid outside because it opens up and it's cold. And you always need a cold book when it's this hot out. Okay, and the next books are all related. So, I mentioned in a video sometime in July that my reading taste have shifted again. And I want more character depth. I want more classics. I want more details in novels. I am tired of incredibly surface level reads. And so, the 6 books sitting in front of me are all tied together very loosely, but they are all tied together. The thing that's going to tie them all together is A Distant Mirror by Barbara Tuchman. This is the calamitous 14th century. It's obviously nonfiction. And all of the other books sitting in front of me are nonfiction. Or not nonfiction. Are 14th century. And excuse me, I want to ground the classics and the fiction in front of me with the actual history of the time and place, which is what I'm starting to do with the Willa Cather book as well, but it doesn't obviously tie into this century. So, from my shelves, I have pulled the Kirsten Lavensdotter trilogy. I am on the second book, which is The Wife, which pairs perfectly. This is 14th century Norway, and I loved the first book. I've heard it only gets better. It's a perfect tie-in with Tuchman, and I am very much here for it. Okay. The next pair perfectly together on their own, but they also tie in with A Distant Mirror, and that is The Canterbury Tales by Chaucer, and then The Good Wife of Bath by Karen Brooks. Obviously, these two are related because this is a retelling of The Good Wife of Bath in The Canterbury Tales, Obviously, this is a much more fleshed out version of The Good Wife of Bath. Again, this one is over 500 pages. And I am just going to take this as it comes, when I get to The Good Wife of Bath in Chaucer. I will then start this one. And context is everything, and A Distant Mirror will provide the context necessary. So that worked out beautifully. And then, once again, I'm restarting 100 Days of Dante. One of these times I will finish it, but this time, again, it ties in perfectly with A Distant Mirror. So, this starts the 19th of August, and it is 3 cantos a week. Remember correctly? Anyway, it's a bite-sized way to read the Divine Comedy. My translation is not Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, which is a decent translation. It is not the most recommended translation these days. However, what I've read of this one so far, I'm not having trouble following the translation at all, so I'm not going to switch it up. And alongside Dante, I'm going to read How Dante Can Save Your Life by Rod Dreyer. And this is nonfiction that I'll read you the parts of the book. From the Garden to the Dark Wood. Part 2 is Inferno, or Why You Are Broken. Part 3 is Purgatorio, or How to Be Healed. And part 4 is Paradiso, or The Way Things Ought to Be. So, this will be fascinating accompaniment to everything else accompanying Dante. So, that is the very ridiculously ambitious August pile of possibilities. But despite the ridiculousness, I am looking forward to every book on this list. Now, some of these books are going to be hanging around for months. I'm okay with that. I won't mention them in every pop, but just know until I finish, they're on deck. And I am excited to read all of these immensely. So we shall see how much I finish. And if you've read any, let me know. I will leave a link to the 100 Days of Dante in the description box. I will leave a link to the readathons for this month in the description box. And yeah, that's everything. What are you reading in August? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.